Ram.
Yeah.
Thank
That
you,
is
sir.
your police background.
Yes, sir.
Please
Thank
sit
you, sir.
down. Pooja,
Sir.
you are a brilliant student, brilliant scholar in a BDS. How lucrative or opposite is this profession of dentistry?
Sir, in comparison to?
Generally, is it a good profession to be in, or you will not be able to survive as a dentist?
Sir, I believe that every profession is a good profession provided you have the ability and the interest in it. So, BDS is a very lucrative as well as a career to serve the nation.
Now, among the medical doctors of all kind, how do you compare the dentist as a normal MBBS doctor?
Sir, I believe that a dentist is equally capable as comparison to a normal doctor, and I think there's nothing called a normal doctor because a dentist is a doctor. It's a specific, I can call it a specification or a specialization of the doctor in general.
Yes.
Because just like we have orthopedicians, we have dentists specialized for tooth and related issues.
But I have seen that the medical profession somehow looks upon dentistry as a little lower down the hierarchy. Is that a correct impression or wrong?
Sir, I feel that it is restricted to few individuals only because as per my experience, I have met very good doctors and the associated paramedics in my career who hold them in equal respect. Those who realize the importance of it, they feel that it is equal as compared to any other profession.
Yeah, but that is your personal experience. But general perception, yeah, after all, there are some disciplines which are rated very high, which
Yes,
is
sir.
why admission there becomes difficult. Then you are left with the leftovers, like radiology or pathology. So, is dentistry lower down in that, or whatever it may be your personal experience? What is the position?
So actually the problem which I find is, and in general, that in India people are not that aware for dental hygiene and dental health. So they don't often go to the dentist, which should be. So it is a perception that dentistry is perhaps a little down than other professions in doctory, which are much more visited or services you require more. So if
Okay.
we compare abroad, the scene is just the opposite.
Now, medical treatment is reimbursable by CGHS.
Yes, sir.
Is dentist also reimbursable? If I
Yes,
have a
sir.
dental problem, will I be reimbursed?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So in dentistry, the treatment is reimbursable, but the cosmetic treatment, so like in implants, so if you go for the normal routine implant, it is reimbursable by the government. But if you go for the higher quality implant, which is for cosmetic reasons, that is not covered.
Yeah, thank you.
You have a hobby which says cooking Indian cuisines.
Yes, sir.
Now, what I want to know, what to your mind sets apart Indian cuisines in plural from other major cuisines in the world?
So I believe Indian cooking is welcoming. It is experimentation. It is a
No, are we
fusion.
talking of cooking or are we talking of cuisines?
Sir,
Now, cooking
yeah.
would be treating food to make it more palatable, more digestible. But to my mind, cuisine, the term cuisine would include a little more of civilizational inheritance. So, when you say Indian cuisines, obviously you are talking of multiplicity of cuisines. It could be Bangla, it could be Tamil, it could be Malayali, it could be Kashmiri. But what is one thing which sets apart all Indian cuisines from other cuisines like Mediterranean, French, Chinese? What would you say is the characteristic of Indian cuisines?
Sir, though I don't have a in-depth knowledge of this subject, cooking in itself, when it comes to the comparison, but I believe that Indian cooking is a much more greater fusion than the French cuisine or the Italian cuisine because of the historical and the civilizational aspects of it.
Now, the interesting part is that when you say the Indian cuisine is more fusion because it has got civilizational encounters, potatoes, tomatoes, papaya, guava, pineapples, chilies are part of what we call Columbian exchange, which was brought to India by Portuguese. Now, this kind of a civilizational encounter took place in Europe as well.
So,
I mean, the Spanish conquistadors and the Portuguese were ultimately Europeans. So, I mean, how can you conclude that they didn't have a civilizational encounter with other producers of edible products?
So in this regard, just like I mentioned that I don't have a very in-depth knowledge so to compare the cuisines of.
All right, so let's not
Yeah.
get into the in-depth knowledge. Let's go to what you like to cook. What do you cook?
Sir, I basically restrict myself generally to Indian, North Indian cuisines, and my favorite dish, of course, is pav bhaji.
But pav bhaji is not quite a dish. Pav bhaji is street food.
So,
And pav bhaji, with the word pav would be the Portuguese bread, and bhaji is a mishmash of the sabzis which goes into it.
So-
So, I mean, that doesn't require too much cooking, does it?
sir,
You don't bake your own bread, I'm sure.
Right,
You don't
sir.
cook, you bake your own pav.
right.
And
So-
you don't, I'm reasonably sure you don't grind your own pav bhaji masala either. So you probably have a ready-made pav bhaji masala of your preferred choice, MDH or whatever.
So in this context, no sir, I don't rely on these ready-made masalas because the beauty of the bhaji.
Alright, so tell me the pav bhaji masala ingredients, which you do because you don't trust the branded pre-packed,
So-
pre-powdered. I greatly respect your choice, but I would like to know what are your ingredients for your pav bhaji masala?
So starting from green chilies, then
Starting from?
green chilies, green chili
No, let's stay with the powdered masala.
powdered
The
masala.
powdered masala which goes.
So, sir, I go for turmeric, red chili, salt. Then we have a garam masala, which has in itself additions of cinnamon and other masalas in it.
Kindly go into it. You have just mentioned cinnamon and garam masala and left it at that. What are the other ingredients are in garam masala?
Sir, there is kala namak, which we call the rock salt, and
Rock salt is not an ingredient of the garam masala per se.
so.
What you call garam masala has to be a specific spice mix. What is your choice? You don't have to go by any prescription. आप क्या करती हैं वो पूछ रहा हूँ.
Sir, I generally don't confine to the exact masalas what they prefer. I like to go beyond it and do my experimentation. in
So
it.
when you go beyond, what do you do? That's what I'm asking you.
So, sir, I generally take all these masalas as well as and mix it in my proportion because I don't like.
No, proportions we are not getting into it at the
So-
moment. This is your favorite dish. You cook it. You have a specific prescription.
Hmm.
So and you say I go beyond the routine. So just tell me what is beyond. What are the additional ingredients which qualify the label beyond?
So, in that additions, I do subtractions. For example, I cut down on the butter, which is a key ingredient of the bhaji, which we add towards the end of it.
You can do what?
So, I cut down on the butter.
No, butter is not a spice, ma'am.
So,
I mean, see, look, please stay with the question asked.
So-
We are talking of spices. Where do you go beyond the normal spice ready-made mix and add or subtract a masala of your own? Don't mention butter.
so,
Butter is not a masala.
so in this context, I generally reduce and cut down on the salt and the chili, red chili.
What do you add?
Sir, I like to add.
See, what you are doing is you are not going beyond actually. You are
So-
only adjusting seasoning.
Yes,
Salt and chilies you are tempering with. But you are neither adding nor subtracting the basic masalas. Alright, we'll leave it at that. Now that you are in police, has your
Sir.
cadre been allocated to you?
Yes, sir.
Which cadre is it?
Sir, Telangana cadre.
Telangana cadre.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me something about the political situation in Telangana at the moment? No, I'll let me complicate life for you, and then I will pass you on to others. You are also a student of anthropology.
Yes, sir.
Now, the states were reorganized on linguistic basis,
So,
but the state has been hived into Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, not on the linguistic basis. So, could you get into some of the anthropological roots of the division of this state into two, between the Telangas and the Andhras as a people?
sir, sorry, I don't have much knowledge on the anthropological aspect of it.
No, you don't have to give me a scientific empirical data on that. Would you subscribe to the view that the people who claim to be residents now of Telangana state are at least ethnically and culturally, they identify themselves differently as the ancient Andhra people? That's why you can't even share a capital. Hyderabad, of course, is a Nizam's heritage.
So for this, I don't have a knowledge. I don't have an in-depth knowledge in this context when it comes to the theoretical or the historical part of it. But on my perception,
Your gut feeling and your first-hand subjective reactions as a person who's going to be posted to Telangana.
sir, what I have felt in my last 1.5 years of stay and visits in Andhra and Telangana, I have felt that the people more or like they resemble the same culture. There are regional variations into it, but more or less they resemble or they resonate with the same Andhra culture.
Is there a difference between the people who stay on the coast, seaboard, and people who stay in the hinterland? I mean, there has to be different in perception of identities and cultures. Those who are on the seaboard and those who are in the hinterland.
So,
Does Telangana have access to sea?
yes, sir. No, not Telangana, Andhra, joint Andhra Telangana.
See, your country is Andhra or Telangana?
Telangana, sir.
I'm staying with Telangana.
Okay.
I'm staying with Telangana. Now, Telangana what states would share its borders with?
Sir, Telangana shares its borders with Andhra, down south Karnataka, Kerala, and I think a part of it in Maharashtra.
You think, or
Sir, there is.
you know
there is.
more or less reasonably?
Yes, sir.
What would you say is the heritage of the Shatvahanas, which both take pride in?
Sir, I'm not
Or
sure.
Rajputas?
Sir, sorry, sir. I don't have an idea.
Thank you.
So I'm going to come down to a very interesting subject that you have.
Yes,
Hobby
ma'am.
is dancing.
Yes, ma'am.
How come you chose not Indian dancing and something little different? What made you do that?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, this
What
dance.
brought you into this?
Yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, in my previous attempt, I was overweight and I had to start the fitness regime, and these dances started as a part of it.
Per se, do you have any interest in or knowledge about Indian dancing systems, that how they maintain your health?
Yes, ma'am. Indian dancing, we come to classical dances in India, and it's a very long tradition of dancing, and it is very good not only in just maintaining the physical health but also the mental health.
Even classic, even folk dances.
Yes, ma'am.
So they're all. So why did you choose this and not that? Because you wanted a quick one. You wanted a 2-minute noodle effect.
Ma'am, as I mentioned that it was a part of the regime which I joined for the weight reduction program. So I'm equally interested in Indian dances as well. So given an opportunity, I would like to start them as well.
Okay. Just tell me one thing. After doing dentistry,
Yes,
what made you join the police? Why? It actually is a continuation of what Mr. Qureshi said. What was it that made you decide that no, I should get into the police and not continue as a dentist?
Ma'am, in dentistry, I realized that civil services gives me a much larger avenue to serve the masses and directly impact the masses. In dentistry, maybe I am able to touch the life of few hundreds, but here my policy decisions and my work can bring me in direct contact with much more people, and the opportunities provided are also greater.
And maybe a security, long-term security.
Ma'am, dentistry.
A government job provides a long-term security rather than doing something on your own. Is that also one of the reasons?
Ma'am, I was in Employees State Insurance Corporation, so I had got a government job there as well.
Oh, that's okay. So just one last question. What do you do because we find you very multifaceted personality, something from different aspects. What is it that motivates you, and what is it that you do to self-motivate yourself?
Ma'am, I indulge in my hobbies as a part of motivation, which is dancing and indeed cooking, and continue my studies into it, studies or research or experimentation in this. And I think that this keeps me motivated.
Do you have a role model that inspired you to be independent and to get into something like this? Or
Ma'am,
how was it? What was the environment that brought you here today?
ma'am, my mother is my role model.
And what does she do?
Ma'am, she is presently Assistant Sub-Inspector, Delhi Police. So she has inspired me into this.
Fantastic.
And that entire bringing and brought up has created an environment that brought me here.
You know, I just wanted to ask you question which can lead to other questions, but let's start with the basic question. You know, when you say police, the public's perception of the police is not that they're a very friendly, go-to kind of people. People are normally scared of the police. People feel that the police are corrupt. People also feel that the police are unjust, right? So I wanted to first ask you a question, whether you believe, A, that this is right in terms of the impression. If it is right, what do you think needs to be done? And what, in your view, is the importance that people should attach to values?
So, I do agree that to an extent, yes, there is a perception, but it is not entirely the fault of the Indian police system. There is a colonial legacy to it as well, and we are working towards it in the sense then the Indian police service, the officers, and down to the constabulary even, we are engaging into civic action programs, participating with the locals, providing a sense of security, and also police reforms to rebuild and build that lost confidence or that weak confidence into the police system, and bringing and bridging up that perception of a friendly policing.
Okay.
And
No, I mean, okay, fine. What would you do if you received an unjust order or an order that you feel is unjust? What would you do?
So, first of all, I would ask how that order has been received. What are the that person is in authority, and if yes, so do I have a written order to it if it's an unjust order? And then if it goes against the law of the land and the constitution, I would not abide to it, sir.
So there are two things. One is what you personally feel
So,
as not being the right thing to do, right? And what may appear to be legally doable. So let's take a case. You've heard about the Hathras alleged rape case and the cremation of a girl in the middle of the night when the parents are not allowed to see the child, and whatever happened alongside. Is that a just decision? And if you were one of the police officers, would you carry it out?
sir, in that case in particular, the due procedures were not followed, which obviously and later led to public uproar. And so, as an officer, I would follow the criminal procedure law and the penal code which has been prescribed to us, and would ensure the law of the land to follow.
Okay. I have one last question.
So,
How important is political influence?
So, political influence indeed positively and negatively affects the working of an institution, and I believe that politics always stand for the society at large. So, if we abide by the law of the land and the constitution, I think politics also follow.
Thank you.
Thank you. Although I've asked my bit of question, but I'm tempted to ask you one more. Did you hear Mr. Akhilesh Yadav saying that he doesn't trust the state police? He was the chief minister of and headed the largest police force in the country. And earlier, 10 years ago, Nitish Kumar as chief minister, he said he told the election commission that please bring paramilitary force, which means that he doesn't trust his own police. Why is this perception that the state police, which includes the IPS, is not dependable and not trusted not by the common people but by the bosses?
So, sir, the examples you have mentioned, there are few of the many examples which are there in our country, and I believe this is a personal opinion of the said politicians. And
Personal opinion of a politician who was chief minister.
So, sir, because in a country like India, having 70 years of independence, sir, to an extent, yes, we are very successful in running the democracy,
No, I think a personal opinion, this is a very weak answer. Nitish Kumar, as Chief Minister, serving Chief Minister, he said that please bring forces from outside. Implying, he didn't say that specifically, implying that he doesn't trust the police. He says even if it is 10 phases of polls, bring up from the police. So is that a personal opinion of Nitish Kumar, the Chief Minister?
Sir, in this case, yes, sir, I would like to reiterate that I think that it is, and if he holds any grievance, there are mechanisms of grievance redressal. There are mechanisms that where we can change or alter or punish or penalize or even yes, we can penalize also the said officials against whom there has been complaints. But bringing forces from outside, sir, so which force are we referring to? Which
Paramilitary forces.
So paramilitary, I believe, is not a solution because the police holds the mandate as per the constitution to uphold public order and peace in any state.
And it's not only these two names which I have mentioned, all political parties. The ruling party may not say the same thing except Nitish Kumar. All political parties demand that, which means they all mistrust the police.
Sir?
Can I just
Yes,
tweak
sir.
the question a
Yes,
little
sir.
bit and say that there's a lot of, there's almost consensus, if you like, that cutting across domestic services like the police, the IAS, etc., a huge degree of politicization has taken place. At the time when I joined service, Sir joined service, we were told to keep politics out. We were not part of any political party, and it was part of our conduct rules. But today, politicization of the civil service, the bureaucracy, has become almost a common fact. And therefore, in certain states, what you do see is if you have a situation where a chief minister is unable to trust his own police force, is because that police force has got politicized, right? Do you think this is a legitimate thing?
Sir, I accept that there are complaints, there are grievances against the forces in general, but sir, it has also been seen that the public has been demanding police reforms, implementation of the Supreme Court verdict in Prakash Singh case's verdict. So if the states or if the political class in general holds an opinion that there is a need, so there should be a willingness to implement these reforms as well, which can be a game changer in the policing in our country and making it free of political controls.
Now you're on the right track. Interview is over, now the comments.
I have a small problem. The only
Sir.
flaw I found in your
Sir.
interview was you were wrong about the map of the state where you are posted. When you go and look over the recording, you
Sir.
mentioned Kerala. So
Sir.
you were including all the South Indian states as one. You look at the map, Telangana is so landlocked that Kerala is far, far, far away. That's number one.
So
You forgot to mention Chhattisgarh and Odisha. Now the problem with that is that as a police officer, that area has had a Naxalite problem.
So-
And there is a red corridor and the trans-state border nexus between the Maoists. Now in keeping that in mind, forgetting Chhattisgarh and Odisha and mentioning Kerala, I think is a little odd. The second problem is that because you are a student of anthropology, we are not going to ask you questions on anthropology. Obviously, you have done well enough in your optionals to qualify and come here. But the problem is that even if you have a minor interest in anthropology, is not strictly textbook anthropology. You talk in terms of people, ethnicities, local tribal inheritances, other kind of things. Now, Andhra and Telangana also have a large quantum of tribal population.
So-
And the identity of people belonging to different, if I may say so, some nationalities and ethnicities led to the split in the state. So once you are posted there as a police officer, both the threats which the Maoists pose to law and order and immediate neighborhood is something which should not flop on. So you should be a little better informed about the state where you are posted, because you have opted out of everything else, all your services. You will only opt for IAS. So you to my mind, should convey to the board a degree of commitment to the people you are serving,
So,
identifying with them. That's the only
So-
thing I wanted to point out.
thank you, sir.
Then Neeraj?
I'd just like to add that while answering his question on anthropology, I think if your wider knowledge about the cultural aspects of that state could have sort of added a little more. So I think you should get into knowing a little more about the, as he said, local ethnicity and what is that culturally makes them demand the state separately. And that would have helped you answer the question well. And knowing the culture of a state is, of course, very important.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
That's it.
You know, I think you have a very charming personality. You're very, very pleasing, and I'm sure you will be a credit to the service, whether it's the police service or the IASM. And then if you're opting for the IAS, I do hope you get it. I think, however, and I don't want to go into the anthropological aspect because I completely agree with what has been said to you as advice. And please take this as advice which is well meant.
So,
You know, young officers need to have a hunger. You know, and if someone says that you're posted to Telangana or you're posted to wherever, Manipur or wherever it is, you need to have that hunger to want to know more. Because it's only when you want to know and get to know more that you actually be able to service requirements. You know, otherwise what happens is that it's like a bar of soap. Whether you put it in Hotel Connaught or you put it in your house, it will still behave like soap that you have purchased. But an individual, for a human being to stand out in a position of power and authority, has to be based on several factors. One is knowledge.
so,
The second is processing of that knowledge. And the third is values. You know, values are extremely important, which I'm sure you've learned from your parents. I also wanted to say that when you started the interview, you know, as you grew warmer and warmer, it changed. But as you started the interview, you were giving responses which you felt I needed or we needed to hear. So if someone asked you, a sir asked you about dentistry and this and that, you were giving response. You know, every job, you know, there's a service element to it, and we, you know, serve the nation and we serve. This is all blah blah.
so.
Nobody wants to hear this because everyone knows you're going to say it, right? So relax when you come because you have the potential in you. You don't have to come with these packed replies because it bounces off people like us. You know, we've had many years of experience to know that let's reject it, you know, let's get to the basics. And you got to the basics. As we grew warmer and warmer, you started speaking. You were not spouting what you thought we wanted to hear because frankly we didn't want to hear it. Did I make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine.
Thank you, sir.
When you got into IPS, how many marks did you get in the interview?
Sir, 143.
143.
43. Yes, sir.
Surely there is a scope for improvement. I got the feeling that you don't listen to the questions carefully.
So,
And for instance, my colleague, Honorable Professor, had to ask you several questions to get some information out of you on the spices. So, secondly, when he said, what are your favorite? You said, of course, pav bhaji. What do you mean, of course, pav bhaji? Is it written on your face? You're not even from Maharashtra. How should you presume that, of course, it is pav bhaji? And if he is asking, it's a silly question because it is, of course, pav bhaji. Right?
So-
Therefore, your answer has to be a little more calibrated, carefully.
Yes, sir.
So, just listen carefully. Otherwise, Mr. Das Gupta said you are a very charming person, and considering that you came from a modest background and you reached here, it will go in your favor. And in any case, your career is now safe. And in fact, many people prefer IPS to IAS. IAS may get disbanded someday, but IPS only will go from strength to strength. You should look at your CV, the DAF, very carefully and sit down for 2 hours, take the help of your friends and peers, identify possible questions arising out of it. We have all asked you questions from your DAF only.
So,
Alright, so that will be the case there also. As many questions as you can identify will equip you better, because once you have the question, you will have the answer ready.
so
Right. For instance, the police, you came to police reforms after a lot of cajoling. What's up, acha, everything is good, the police is fine, people are satisfied, is everything hunky-dory, which is absolutely not true. So now Prakash Singh report and police reform is the thing. So you must study that. What was the reform proposal? What has been accepted, not accepted? What is to be done? History of reform. Mr. Julio Ribeiro, he keeps writing what is he saying and all that. So even Zumba dance, it leads you to all kinds of dances.
So-
Why not Indian dances? And what are the Indian dances? The classical dances, the folk dances. The moment the word dance is used, it opens a door to 100 questions. Right? Similarly, cooking, cuisine. So just prepare yourself thoroughly. When is your interview?
sir, 10th September.
Well, a lot of time. What newspaper do you read?
Sir, Indian Express
Yeah.
and Hindu.
Are you the only child?
So I have a sister as well.
You have a younger
Sister.
sister.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, have you been taking notes from the newspaper or not? You just read the paper.
Sir, if there's any latest development, then I take the notes.
When did you last take any note?
Sir, on the yesterday itself, sir. I have been
Yesterday.
here, sir.
What did you write on?
Sir, I was following Afghan issue.
Afghanish. Yes, that's a good thing. Now, from today, start a diary. Whether you pick up something selectively, pick up 5 items anyway. Every
Sir.
day, 5 items. Right? From any page, and take 1 page, 1 item. Write down your note, 2 lines, 6 lines, 10 lines. But as much of information as possible. That will keep you up to date. And it has very solid information in the Indian Express. So if you do that, you should do very well. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Qureshi ji, can I just give her one suggestion, please, with your permission? Telangana has given a very important minister this time in the cabinet with 2-3 portfolios. I think all this information also you should gather. Would you know his name?
Ma'am, sorry, I'm missing on that.
He is Minister of Culture, Tourism and Northeast.
Okay. Ma'am, I'll go back and check on it.
Mr. Reddy, yeah.
No, as I
G.
said,
Krishna Reddy.
Every word leads to say,
So-
now Telangana
Huh.
has potential 100 questions.
Because it's a
its
new
origin,
state.
its politics, its
It's
current.
new origin, you know. It's a new state, you know. So that part, and the Amravati part may also come into the picture, you know.
Yes. Yes.
Amravati would be very critical. So that was one important thing.
And then Vidarbha, because
Yes,
the way
yes.
Telangana movement was there, we have similar movement in your Pav Bhaji state. Right?
Well,
And
Pav
when he
Bhaji
said,
is
when he
not
said
actually
you
an
should have
Indian cuisine.
hunger, so
if I understand
wanted-
correctly, Pav Bhaji is not a typical Indian cuisine.
Yes.
Bilkul.
These were, now when he said you should have hunger, what crossed my mind was not hunger for pav bhaji. You should hunger for knowledge and information. So just you will get there's a video of this interview. Listen to this carefully, and all this is for your good. You are a very, very good candidate, and just refine the edges, and you will do very well. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
With Sir's permission, one last thing, perhaps Professor Pant can correct me on this. I don't think you mean Indian cuisine. I think you mean Indian cooking.
That's what that's what I tried to point out to you. There's a difference between the word cooking and cuisines. That is where you should not get tripped.
So,
Because you'll fall into a major trap with the word cuisine. It's a major trap. And unless you have extraordinary interest and therefore knowledge, etc., stick to what you can handle.
so
You know, don't fall into a trap that you're creating for yourself.
Yeah, thank you very much.
thank you, sir.
Good luck to you.
Good luck.
Thank you, sir.
Good luck.
Jai Hind, sir.
Jai Hind.
Thank you.